happy Sunday to everybody. I'm just making sure that everything's groovy on the interwebs here. And it is Songwriter Sunday. Heck yeah. And if you've been watching these before, you know what it is. If you have not yet been able to check it out, then you're hopefully in for a real treat because I have Audrey Snyder on today, who is a fantastic songwriter, cellist, composer, producer. What does she not do? I don't know. So, every Sunday at 2 o'clock, I bring on another songwriter to my live stream. And after I share about 15 minutes of original music, then I bring the other songwriter on. We hear from them about what they're writing, what they're up to, what they value in terms of the craft, and then we hear their original music too. So actually very much the highlight of my week, and I'm especially jazzed about Audrey today. I'm jazzed every Sunday, but Audrey's great. She's releasing an EP. She's going to talk about that, and then we're going to hear some cello-tastic original music for sure. So that'll be right at 2:15. Until then, I am the opening act, unfortunately for you, fortunately for me. So I'm going to share my tunes, get Audrey on here at 2:15, and we're just going to talk songwriting. So buckle up. And then, as always, if you have questions, comments, anything like that, you're welcome to drop them in the chat on whatever platform that you watch on, and we will do our best to address those. So awesome. Thank you for joining. And my first song is called All Life Long. I wrote it right before the pandemic, so probably like February-ish. So this is All Life Long. Bright lights caught beneath the spotlight all night, trying to catch the vibe right. I'm tracking side glances when you think I'm distracted. I've got violent butterflies, but I don't know the impact yet. I don't know. You gotta reclaim your time if you don't know what's happening. But I can tell by your twitch and your lean that you're thinking about action. I could be two people if you need a bit more. We could do this dance till we die, but I wish you were sure. I wish you were sure. We're getting too old for this now. So if you wanna get close, you're gonna have to put your drink down, 'cause it's gonna take both hands to handle the truth. I've been waiting all life long just to do this with you, to be here with you. Touch hands, take me through the back door. Move fast so we don't reconsider. Time's frozen now, but soon it will fly. So don't waste another moment waiting it out to decide. 'Cause we're getting too old for this now. So if you wanna get close, you're gonna have to put your drink down, 'cause it's gonna take both hands to handle the truth. I've been waiting all life long just to do this with you, to be here. Make up your mind, you know what it is. Don't let it slide, you'll be regretting it. 'Cause I know that you know that I know what you want. 'Cause we're getting too old for this now. If you wanna get close, you're gonna have to put your drink down, 'cause it's gonna take both hands to handle the truth. I've been waiting all life long just to do this with you, to be here with you. All right, that's All Life Long / both hands. I wrote back over the winter. So, and I apologize. I had an extra Diet Coke today, so I'm a little woo right now. So right at 2:15, I'm bringing on Audrey Q. Snyder to share her new music that is going to be released in an EP coming out so soon. Aren't you lucky? And until then, you're stuck with me, but Audrey's coming up very shortly here. Thank you for watching as always. If you have questions, comments, concerns, beef, go ahead, throw it in the comments, and I will definitely address it to the best of my ability. So, hi Norm, hi Charlotte. I know Charlotte likes that tune of my originals, so hopefully she still likes it. Cool. All right, next up, checking my set list, is a song called Animal. I have recorded it properly with guitarist John Charles Weston, who I happen to be married to, that's fun, and my friend Jordan Jenkins, who plays the bass, and a wonderful drummer named Spencer Forwood. You can check that out on YouTube. It's coming out soon on Spotify and all that as well. So this song is called Animal. Cool. Hi, husband. Walking through the tall grass, touching the blades with my fingertips, searching for a nightcap where the moonlight hits the air and the air hits my lips. In the darkness, I'm an animal amongst the animals for the first time. Hi, Hassim. A piercing cry is inquiring what I am doing out here. I laugh aloud, a fitting response as I wander into a midnight clear. In the darkness, I'm an animal amongst the animals for the first time. Be you man or be you beast, you better be afraid of me, 'cause I left my pain and my excuses under my pillow. No, I'm not afraid to die. That's why I walk alone at night, 'cause what was taken from me can't be retrieved. So if you wanna fight, I'll be here naked, smiling in plain sight. The undergrowth smells like freedom and sex and health and hope. I wanna rest in its gentle caresses, but its thorny companions are known to choke. A rattle in the distance warns of a painful death, unless I run and hide. But the wind kisses my hips, picks me up, and I'm an animal amongst the animals for the first time. Be you man or be you beast, you better be afraid of me, 'cause I left my pain and my excuses under my pillow. No, I'm not afraid to die. That's why I walk alone at night, 'cause what was taken from me can't be retrieved. So if you wanna fight, I'll be here naked, smiling in plain sight. Beautiful and strange, you walk me to the edge of insane. As the years go by, the motorcycles go by, like the years go by. It's a pleasure to meet you face to face. Be you man or be you beast, you better be afraid of me. 'Cause I left my pain and my excuses under my pillow. No, I'm not afraid to die. That's why I walk alone at night. 'Cause what was taken from me can't be retrieved. So if you want to fight, I'll be here naked, smiling in plain sight. Sweet. That song is called Animal. I recorded it with John Weston, Jordan Jenkins, and Spencer Forwood. Check it out. It's on YouTube. It's coming to Spotify and Apple Music very soon. So don't worry. All right, I got one more for you. I gotta keep moving here. I always forget Animal's like a 5-minute song. But right as soon as I finish this up, I'm gonna get Audrey Q. Snyder up here on the screen for you. She's releasing a new EP coming out, I believe, within the week. And so lucky you, like I said. So hang tight for one more song of mine, and then we're getting Audrey up here. We're gonna have a nice conversation about songwriting. Feel as free as you want to be involved in the conversation. We super welcome that. And yeah, thank you for joining me today. Okay, this is called Heart Attack. I wrote it in my undergrad. I had a really cool prog pop band. And yeah, I got kind of like revitalized it in the last year. So, Heart Attack. Do I know you, love? You remind me of someone I once wanted in the back of my mind. But I could be wrong, so would you like to play along? I saw you look me up and down. That is just fine. Wait, where are you going? Where are you going? Heart attack. I need to keep this. I need to keep this eye contact. 'Cause if I do, you do. I can watch you smile again, and you'll be coming back, coming back, coming back. I think I would like for you to sing to me at night. I think I would like to watch you glowing, crawl into my mind with necks that taste like wine. And I apologize, 'cause I can't say a damn thing except where you going, where you going? Heart attack. I need to keep this. I need to keep this eye contact, 'cause if I do, you do. I can watch you smile again, and you'll be coming back, coming back, coming back, coming back. Where you going? Heart attack. coming back. Alright. Alright, that tune is called Heart Attack, and usually I have a really good soloist to play that solo, but not so today, just me. So, without further ado, let's get Audrey Q on the phone. I've got my rosé as I do on Sundays, typically. And again, if there's anything you want to ask her, ask me, please drop it in the comments on whatever platform that you're watching from. So let me get Audrey going here. Boop, boop, boop. All right. Hello.
Hello.
It's happening. It's happening. I'm so excited.
Wait, what are your earrings?
They're giant praying mantises.
Oh my God, those are so great.
Mantises, if you will. Yes.
Amazing.
How's your Sunday going?
It's going. I'm just like all set up here and, had some coffee. Not too recently though, because then I get, buggy.
I made the horrible mistake of having a Diet Coke like 30 minutes before I started this, and I'm like not a caffeine person in general, so I'm kind of myself. So you're
vibrating onto another plane.
I am not a fan of the caffeine buzz, but you are wise, and I shall follow your ways in the future. All right, so everybody, this is Audrey Q. Snyder. She flippin' rocks. I will say, I'm going to rep you real quick and say you're one of the biggest supporters of independent artists in Chicago that I know. You're always sharing, retweeting, odd-podding for a long time, looking out for your colleagues and friends. So, pleasure to have you here.
I try. Thanks for having me. This is so exciting.
You do. Fabulous. So, hey, I'm not gonna coffee or Diet Coke ramble over you. What do you want to? Do you want to introduce yourself at all anymore? Do you want to say anything you want people to know about you?
Oh gosh, I suddenly have no thoughts in my brain. I have only smooth, empty brain.
Define it.
Smooth brains for everyone. No, I'm gonna play like 3 songs for you guys, and I think the last one I'm gonna play, and I'll introduce it a little bit more when we get to it, but that's gonna be a single from my EP that's coming out really soon on December 18th. So yeah, it's my 3rd EP. Apparently, I'm just never gonna make a full-length album because, like, honestly, they're just too expensive and they're a lot of work. And, like,
so that.
I'm like, and I keep doing this thing where I'll like write a certain number of songs, and then I'm like, I feel like that's all I have in this like sort of period, like during this time in my life, like who I am right now. These are the songs that I have, and I don't feel like I have any more. And it usually ends up being about an EP's worth. So, but yeah, so that's coming.
EP standing for extra perfect amount of songs.
That's what I think. We all have, I'm very much, I do a lot of new music, as you know, and like contemporary classical music. And I feel like a lot of people feel like they have to do really long programs and long and heavy programs. And I'm like very much a fan of the 30 to 45-minute program. Like that, I think that's good.
As am I. I was always told in my composition programs, you want people to want more when they leave, not feel like they've had too much.
Yes, exactly. We want them to leave being like, I would love some more of that as dessert, not like I can never eat again.
Yeah. Schoenberg. Anyway.
All right.
What are we kicking off with? Yeah.
We're gonna do Restless Lady. This is a tune from my 2nd EP of the same name. Restless Lady is the title track, and this was actually one that I wrote like before I even ever did my first EP, but it didn't make it onto that one because of a hard drive issue. But
oh no.
It's okay. I ended up with the 2nd one, and so yeah, here we go.
All right.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. never left Oklahoma, never gone much farther than a parachute could go. Now she found herself by the side of the road, climbing into a dusty rust bucket. Take me, Daddy, to another place. I've had myself a little fall from grace. If you'd be so kind, stick your hands to yourself. I think you could get me where I need to go. Thought she'd stay in New Mexico, but it wasn't her kind of place, it seemed. With a hooked pair of shiny new fins, she chucked her way into that classy ride. Take me, Mama, to another place. I've had myself a little fall from grace. You'd be so kind, so keep your eyes to yourself. I think you could get me where I need to go. Sunny California at last. It was the place made of salt and sand and light. There was no jingle jangle in her packet. She was home, she said. I think that I have found a place to break my little fall from grace. Fortune, she has smiled on me. She has got me where I needed to go.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Heck yeah. First things first, we're going to talk about how professional you are, because I forgot, though, the broadcast on my end was muted, but your headphone, the Skype is not muted, and I totally burped through. And I saw it happen. I was like,
I didn't hear it, I promise.
oh, you totally cracked a smile, like, right as I burped. Oh, boy. Because I always forget. Anyway, I am sorry if that was distracting.
A girl after my own heart, let it out.
Just have a little wine to balance out the Diet Coke. I don't know what to do over here.
Yeah, absolutely. I've done the opposite and took some Benadryl one time for allergies, and then I took too much, because even just like a full dose of like child's Benadryl, I'll just be like,
yep.
And then I had some Diet Coke to balance it out. That's not recommended.
How magical was that journey for you?
It was terrible. I was like, I don't feel right.
Okay, now back to our regularly scheduled programming. I had the pleasure of covering that right when all this stuff.
That's
Okay.
right.
Okay, so I agree. I assume Kathleen Snyder is a member of your
Oh,
family.
that's my mom.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my mom.
Yeah, backing tracks can definitely come up for the next two.
Okay.
If you can swing.
Thanks, Mom. I could count on my parents to weigh in on the balance.
No worries.
Okay,
Yeah, I was
I'll
gonna
do my
say the
best.
same actually. We need more.
Okay.
We just need
Yep.
you in our brains. I've had the pleasure of covering that song early on during a live stream, so I've sat with it a little more than maybe your newer stuff that you're gonna share. And I want to can we talk about it for a moment?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Tell me about what inspired it. Tell me about that particular journey and also kind of the sound field that you're working with there. It sounds very folky. It sounds very, you know, journey oriented, and it also is like kind of sexy. I don't know if that was your intention, but that's what I got out of it. So,
I think, I think I may have written this not long after, and this is so lame too, because I think what made me think of it was a book that I never even finished, but it was what's his name? Tom Robbins? Tim Robbins? Tom Robbins? The one who did Still Life with Woodpecker and Even Cowgirls Get the Blues, and he's written a lot of books, and
okay.
and I think it's Even Cowgirls Get the Blues. I think that's what it's called, and there's a character in that who does like a lot of hitchhiking in her youth,
Mm.
and it's kind of a wacky book because honestly, like men take advantage of her and like all this kind of bad stuff happens to her, but it's framed like she's very flippant about it. I don't know, it's a male author, so who knows. But uh but yeah, I think I was just it's kind of like thinking I feel like some people sort of romanticize the idea of hitchhiking, like back when people did it without feeling like they were going to get axe murdered if they did it.
Mm.
And I feel like the idea behind hitchhiking, like if people weren't so frightening, could be really great. Like, you meet people on the road as you're trying to get from where you've been to where you're trying to go. And at the time, um, I also had ideas about like someday going to California, and I'm not from Oklahoma. Like this song is not really about me, but it very much incorporates. It's supposed to be a story about a girl who's had like a bad time coming from Oklahoma and um and then basically hitchhiking, like, cutting through New Mexico and getting to California, and she gets there and she has no jingle jangle in her pocket. She has no money left, but
Mm.
but she's gotten there and she thinks this is like the place where she can be herself. And then what's funny is that when I actually got around to recording this song, like for the second EP, because I wrote it so long before that, and then when I actually recorded it for the EP, I had had this like um, I had had this sort of failed move to Los Angeles myself,
Mm.
and that was like very very brief, like in sort of fall of 2016, and it was just one of those situations where I got there and like nothing felt right, and I was hemorrhaging money, and like
As one does.
and it was
Yep.
yeah, and it's like, it's the kind of situation where I went into it knowing and feeling prepared to not not be doing music full time as my job for a while, like
Mm.
knowing that I had to break into it and it would take a long time, but it was like even just surviving like on the day to day was proving very very challenging, and I also just had a lot of life changes like not long before that, and so anyway, but I do feel like Restless Lady is kind of the beginning of that EP, and it starts out with such like optimism for going from, the place you've been to the place you're trying to go. And kind of through the EP, it gets a little more disillusioned as you
Ah,
go along. So that's I mean, that just to put it into some context.
cool.
It's, yeah, yeah.
No, super, super into that. And yes, John's dad, who is a doctor of composition, he's watching. says yes, definitely Tom Robbins. So you've got some people who know what you're talking
Thank
about
you.
over here. Cool. I love story songs. I typically write pretty like autobiographically, but I really admire people who can put stories that are not their own or like tangentially related, but based on something else into song. So I
Yeah, I think around the time that I originally wrote it, I was working some with a folk singer named Emily Muir, who's based in New York, and she's really lovely. And and she writes a lot of story songs that aren't necessarily autobiographical, but I think she writes sort of like she puts herself into the shoes of like other people, and sometimes she writes about friends. I think sometimes she sort of writes about amalgams of different people, if I'm remembering correctly.
mm,
And so I think that when you said folk music, I mean I think that's probably a little bit why there may be a little bit of a folk, because I didn't get into folk music really very much at all until I started working with Emily, I think. Um, and yeah, so
cool. All right, I'm gonna have to check her work out too. Emily Muir,
yeah,
do it.
she's great. It's like her last name is like Shore, but with an M.
Ah, like a Shure microphone or a
No, like a sure thing.
like a Shure. Okay, cool. Cool.
Sorry, that's really,
No,
that
I'll
was a
try
little
and throw that
misleading.
up there on the screen too if people want to connect there as well. Cool. So, what's next?
So I'm gonna do which is in like like potions, which not like a sandwich. Nope, I don't know. Anyway,
It's important to distinguish.
yes, yes. Witch like Sabrina the Teenage Witch, sort of. But it's this is another one off of my second EP, and yeah, we can talk about it a little more after. But yeah,
Okay,
so it's called
perfect.
Witch.
I'll get myself out of here.
All right. There's no line I cannot cross by simply erasing it. I take up magic implements and lock you in this body to make you free. Can you count the gold? Can you count the jewels you trade for a face that cures forgetting?
Awesome. Sorry, I have to push like 27 buttons every time that I switch between the screens.
That's okay.
No, that one's
Uh,
fantastic. I mean, such beautiful imagery there too. I love it. Yeah, tell me some more about it.
well, that one actually is about, it's sort of about aging, I guess, and also like being a lady and aging, or, you know, not being allowed to age almost.
Mm,
It's like, I feel, you know, people have, I was, I guess, trying to think about, when I was writing the lyrics for this, I was like, okay, what do people sort of, the language around women who are visibly aging, like people will
mm,
sometimes call them a hag. And so that sort of led me to this idea of a witch. And it's like, no, it kind of made me think, sorry, I'm not saying this very well, but like
oh, you're fine. You're
the
fine.
women the women themselves who are aging are not hags or witches. It's the people who put pressure on them and make them feel as though they need to fix it are these sort of witches, or like, you can, I mean, yeah, those are the people who are sort of doing something dark.
Mm,
Um, so the whole sort of idea of the song is supposed to be like, I can lock you in this body to make you free, like in order for you to more freely navigate society and navigate, you know, the workplace and all of that. I'm gonna try to lock you in how you look now. And yeah, that's kind of the vibe of it. So
wow. Yeah. Well, we need more songs about that, so please don't stop.
yeah, I'll just write a whole EP about aging.
Please, please, just we should we
I
should.
turned 30 this year, so it's like on my brain.
I feel you. I feel you. I'm coming up on it. We should do some co-writing on simple feminism things that nobody writes about.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure. Yeah, wonderful song. Getting some good feedback over here on it too. So, um,
Oh yeah.
yeah. Well, do you wanna keep grooving here?
Yeah, I'll play my last song here. So this is the new one that's on the EP that's coming out soon on December 18th. I think this single is going to come out on the 4th, I think, if I can get my shit together. I'm like doing almost everything like myself on this album, just in terms of mixing and producing and stuff. And so I'm very much in some ways feeling my way through it. And, you know, I've sent some mixes to my dad and been like, how does this sound? Is this okay? And he's been like giving me some feedback, and I've been listening to things in my car, which is really helpful. And but anyway, so if I can like get everything to Mike Gilliland. I don't know how you say his name, but he does Giltone Mastering is his business, and he does a really really great job. And he's been so patient and just being like, no, like it's okay, like you can spend more time on the mixes. I'm like,
Aw.
okay. So hopefully I can get all that. It's, you know, it's just me getting that stuff together. So anyway, so this song is called Melt. The whole EP is very much in the spirit of like wintertime, being single in wintertime, like during cozy season when everybody's like, it's cuffing season, like you should have a boo. And I'm like, there's a pandemic. But
Yeah. COVID on a
yeah,
dog or a
so
gecko instead.
yeah, like I have a rabbit. She's fine. Like
Perfect. There you go.
no, like she doesn't talk. It's great. I'm so rude.
I love it.
But yeah, so this is called Melt, and it's supposed to be kind of the idea behind it is like when you suddenly run across somebody and you're not like looking for anything, but you're like, oh man, they're like my type, and like they like look nice, and I have a nice time with them, and you're like reluctantly like into them, and you're like, no, I don't want to be into them, and then they're just sort of like cracking the ice. So
Cool.
so that's the idea.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this will be Melt. I might lower the track on this just a little because I think it's a little louder.
All right.
Okay, here we go.
Melt off your new EP coming out December 18th. Right? Yes. Boom.
Yes, yes. I could see you come and bring promises of spring and summer. But there could be another freeze, and I don't know if I'll recover. Maybe this time I can clear away the ice and snow. Maybe I should stay safe, wrapped up in my winter coat. Don't you look at me like that. Don't you tell me I look pretty. There's a brittle certainty when you keep things for now. I love who's gonna melt. I can hear the frozen water cracking underneath your smile. If it breaks and I fall in, will you catch me or just let me die? Maybe this time I can clear away the ice and snow. Maybe I should stay safe, wrapped up in my winter coat. Don't you look at me like that. You tell me I look pretty. There's a brittle certainty when you keep things going now. I love who's gonna melt. Don't you look at me like that. You tell me I look pretty. There's a brittle certainty when you keep things going now. I love who's gonna melt. I'm gonna melt.
Woohoo again.
Hi.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, that's so much fun.
You can tell that one's a little newer because I have a little bit of a hard time in places like remembering how to play cello and sing at the same time.
Who really knows how to do that? No one.
I mean,
So many things to think about.
so many things.
No, that's great. That's fantastic. I have been there, and I expect you in a private text to tell me who that song is about.
Oh, I don't know that it's about any. I know it would be a lot juicier if it was about a particular person. I feel like I have been doing a lot more recently of writing songs that are kind of like I was talking about earlier, like amalgams of people. So I don't know that one's about. I mean, I can definitely think of some specific people who like it could be kind of about, but yeah.
Fine. Yeah. I don't read People magazine. I need something to keep my brain occupied. No, that's beautiful, especially at the end, that instrumental bit. I love it.
Oh, I should do a shout out like that. The drums on that. So I'm using I basically because I still have like all the mixes and tracks from recording. So that actually like I'm using the recording that I'm working on now to be released. So the drums that you hear are Dave Brandwine, who has been playing my songs live with me since like 2018.
Cool.
He just moved to LA though, although I think he's sort of back and forth between LA and Chicago, like in normal times. And then Nicole, my friend Nicole Frankel, who is in Atlanta, she did the sort of fluty part near the end of that instrumental interlude. So
nice.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh, I don't know. I just ramble because this is your time and I just want to make sure I'm saying things sometimes. So no, gorgeous. I mean, yeah, I'm so excited for the new EP. Where can people can people pre-order it? How can people like give you their money?
They can't. Okay, so they can't pre-order the EP yet, but what I'm planning, and fingers crossed that this all works, that I get everything together. But basically, if everything goes to plan, then Melt will come out on December 4th, so it's this Friday.
Perfect.
And hopefully with that, um, hopefully they can pre-order. I'm thinking maybe they can pre-order the album that day through Bandcamp, and then they will get Melt with the pre-order. And what I'm hoping to do is basically, it's a Bandcamp day. Like it's one of the days when Bandcamp waives its revenue share. And so what I'm thinking is that maybe all pre-orders that day, like 100% of proceeds will go to a local Chicago charity, is what I'm thinking.
Are you cooler than I thought you were?
No.
You're like, no, I was always this cool.
It's not what I meant. That's the play. I mean, I think I'll have to check and make sure that like even if I don't have audio uploaded to Bandcamp yet for the rest of the songs, that people can still like pre-order it and get the single. I think that'll work. So just everybody keep an eye out. I don't know.
No.
I'm just flying by my pants here. So
it's so hard to like jump through all those hoops. I totally feel you. I have been trying to release one of the songs I played today, Animal, on SoundCloud for like 3 months, and they keep going like, your album art doesn't match like who you've credited with ASCAP, and I'm like, I've gone back and I'm like, it's the same.
You're like, I just want it.
So I'm with you.
Like, can you not?
I'm with you 100% on those challenges.
Oh my god. Yeah, and of course I did this to myself, having like I think for a while I wasn't really sure if I was going to be able to produce this EP at all. And so then it just ended up being I was so pokey writing the couple little songs that I have on it. So it's a very condensed timeline that I'm working with. So, okay. But anyway,
well, your little songs are fantastic thus far.
Thank you.
The noob. I'm a big fan. Don't talk down to yourself. I'm working on this. Watch the Letterman interview with Lizzo. Don't do it. No negative stuff.
Oh my god. I basically just need to listen to Lizzo like all the time. Like every time I just listen to her music, like I feel so inspired, and I'm like, yeah, like like I should get fries for myself and get from the top shelf and whatever else is in her songs. I can't remember, but man, she's just the best. I love her.
But is she the best, or are you the best?
Honestly, I think she's the best. I think that's fair. I think like that's not gonna hurt my feelings if you say that Lizzo is the best, because she really is. Like,
I mean, I'd be fine with a hot flute cello collab, to be honest with you.
Oh my god, I would pee my pants. It would be a mess.
A hot mess.
A hot mess. The hottest mess.
Absolutely. Yes.
Oh god.
So December 4th we get Melt, Lucky Us. December 18th we get the EP, hopefully, and you're giving some back to Chicago charity, which is dope. How else can people give you their money / support you spiritually and light stage for you privately and all that stuff?
Well, let me think. You can always, so you can go on my Bandcamp, which is just audreyq.bandcamp.com, and you can get any of the you can get any of the EPs that are. I personally recommend the second EP. I mean, the first one has its merits, but I really feel good about the second one.
Are we talking about EPs or wine? I don't understand.
But yeah, you can go on my Bandcamp and get stuff there. You can you can. Oh, I have a Patreon now. I'm still sort of figuring out. I know it's so. Most of my friends, most of the people I know are other musicians, so it's like it's the same like $5 getting passed around between everybody. But
Yeah.
in case you're in a position and you would like to support my creating independent music, and the Patreon itself is really just a general vehicle for all of the things I do, which is at the moment finishing up Odd Pod this year, my podcast, and like playing new music on live streams, like contemporary classical. I've done a lot of like commissioning people, and I obviously write my own music, so like any and all of that, if you want to support that in any way, you can always go on Patreon, and either I think you can do like a one-time thing, like a one-time here's some money, or like a once a month here's some money, or also called a contribution or a donation. I don't know, but I'm just rambling now, but
You're fine.
So
You're perfect.
You can Patreon. You can always just like, I don't know, drop some money up to my Venmo that I think is my Venmo up.
Your Venmo is up, and I just want to say too, along the lines of like the shuffling around the $5 between the arts communities or the like, artists. You know what? Congress can't figure it out, but I have realized that all my artist friends have been like super supporting each other during this thing, financially and otherwise, and that's super cool. So I would encourage folks who have a couple extra bucks lying around, definitely pop on the. Audrey's Venmo is up top, mine is down bottom. Of course, you are not obligated to give us your money, but you should. But it does
definitely give money to Cassandra because she has been working so hard to do these like Songwriter Sundays and doing such a good job and like featuring her friends and colleagues, and it's amazing that you've been doing this. So I really appreciate it.
No, thank you. I mean, honestly, it really is like kind of the highlight of my week to talk art with other cool people. So, yeah, it does. It certainly incentivizes the creation of new content. To see a few bucks in the old virtual tip jar, but you can always just. Are you on what platforms are you on besides Bandcamp?
I guess I'm on I am on SoundCloud. SoundCloud is a little bit, it's a lot of different things.
Yes.
Like you can find my pop stuff there. You can find a couple of like sort of contemporary classical, like electronics things that I did 2 years ago. I have a bunch of old covers on there that are like definitely low budge, but I think I'm a pretty good arranger and I'm kind of proud of them. So if you want to check out some funny little covers, like
that's the energy I'm talking about right there. So I mean, I'm okay. It's okay.
I'm okay. I'm alright. It's
pretty good. Awesome. So basically, emblazon Audrey Q. Snyder's name into your brains, everyone, now and forever. Google her, give her your money, and Audrey does so much for like I said, the independent Chicago artist scene. Always retweeting, always sharing, always supporting. So I appreciate you for that as well. So happy to.
I appreciate you.
We're gonna have to get off this call because it's just gonna be a love fest.
I know.
No, you rock.
We can just compliment each other all day.
I kind of need that like adrenaline and endorphin rush. Everybody.
These are the times.
Yep. This is the world we live in. So, Audrey Q. Snyder, EP coming out December 18th. Pre-order it so she can give your money to Chicago charities and also buy her mac and cheese and wine. And yeah, thank you so much. Is there anything else that you want to say for posterity?
I think that's it. Yeah. let's flip the Senate in Georgia. That's it. I can't do anything. I can't do very much about that because I don't live in Georgia.
John and I were just talking about doing cold calling for that same thing if we can.
Yeah, I should probably do that. I should probably get over my fear of phones. But
I know I have the same thing. But I'll do it. Cool. Thank you, Audrey. You flippin' rock. Love your art tremendously. Love you tremendously. And if you're watching this, please go support Audrey. And I believe, as of this afternoon, I will be continuing this series. Yay! For at least another month. Yeah. And if you are watching and you're a songwriter, or you're watching and you know a songwriter, this is all virtual, so it doesn't matter if you're in Chicago or Shanghai. Like we can rock this thing out. So please keep joining us Sundays at 2 Central. And thank you, Audrey, and thank you to the viewers. So
thanks, Cassandra.
see you next time. Bye.
Bye.